Hey there Star Wars fans, and welcome to Astromech Productions, a Star Wars and LEGO Star Wars YouTube channel. In this, the third video in my Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker build-up, I'll be going over how and where I think Episode 9 will end. Way back when George Lucas was coming up with the initial storyline for Star Wars, he envisioned that the ending would reveal that the story of the Skywalkers was being told 100 years in the future by R2-D2 to the Wills, who would in turn write it in the Journal of the Wills. He soon scrapped this idea, however, there is a chance that J.J. Abrams might be bringing it back. In an interview, George Lucas said, "Originally, I was trying to have the story be told by somebody else. There was somebody watching this whole story and recording it, somebody probably wiser than the mortal players in the actual events. I eventually dropped this idea, and the concept behind the Wills turned into the Force, but the Wills became part of this massive amounts of notes, quotes and background information that I used for the script. The stories were actually taken from the Journal of the Wills." He then later revealed that he believed that the story of the Skywalkers was being relayed to a Keeper of the Wills by R2-D2. So what do I think of this idea? Well, I like it. I think that it would be a nice way to round off the story, well, with R2-D2 being such an important character. However, I have two main problems with it. The first is that it is a very fairy tale ending, and if it is not done extremely well, then I believe it could ruin the end of the saga. I think that J.J. Abrams can pull it off, but if it goes wrong, then it could have huge repercussions for Star Wars in the future. My other concern is that if this scene does take place at the end of the movie, it allows no room for a possible aftermath sequence. What I mean by this is a sequence where we see the characters in maybe 10 or 20 years time, which I would really like to see because as this is the end of the Skywalker saga, there's no chance to see any of them again, apart from maybe one or two in the Rian Johnson trilogy. One of my other theories is that the ending will show Rey, either beginning training in New Order of Jedi, or a much older version of her as maybe Grandmaster Rey. And I believe that this new bunch of Force users will be called the Skywalkers, hence the title of the movie. I think it would be a really nice path for JJ to go down, and give a kind of callback to Luke Skywalker and the new Jedi Order. This could also be a really good way to integrate the Broom Kid from The Last Jedi. Let me know what you think of this theory in the comments. As for where Episode 9 ends, I have a number of theories. However, I want to start with a quote from Kevin Smith, a good friend of J.J. Abrams, made during an IGN Jay and Silent Bob reboot interview at San Diego Comic-Con 2019.
You guys are big Star Wars fans. You've had Star Wars cameos and other things. They're telling me to wrap up, but I have to ask you this before you go. Kevin, can you predict the final shot of Star Wars Episode 9? And maybe you've seen it. I have no idea.
I've not seen it, but I was on set. I went to London at one point and visited the set. JJ invited me because I had the heart attack. He was like, when I had the heart attack, he wrote me and he was like, "You got to pull through, man, so you can come visit Star Wars." And I was like, "Can I be in it?" And he was like, "Come visit." So I pulled through, and I was the kind of asshole that wrote him back to be like, "Remember what you said?" And he was like, "Come on out." So I got to hang out and be there on set. And there was this scuttlebutt about a set there at Pinewood, a big set that they were like, "You have to see this. When you see it, it'll melt your mind." And I was like, "What was it?" And they were like, "Ask JJ." And so I asked JJ, I was like, "They keep telling me I should see the set." And he goes, "Don't." I said, "Why?" And he goes, "The last shot of the movie." So I was like, "Well, now I really want to see it." And he goes, "You don't want this spoiled. You want to be in a theater when this happens, trust me." And then other people on the crew were like, "Bro, I wish I hadn't seen it. I'm glad I did." He's going, "But it will melt your mind." For that reason alone, man, and as inquisitive as I am and curious as I am, I desperately wanted to go look. But like when you talk to the magician's like, "Trust me on this one." You know, sometimes as human beings, we want to know how to pull a rabbit out of the hat. But JJ is such a magical magician that I'm just like, you know what? Do it. Trick me. I'll wait and get tricked. Even though I could have seen what it was, I was like, I'll sit back. I like your plan. He's never let me down so far. So it's there. There are people in the world that know what the last shot is, even if the movie's not fully cut together at this point. I'm not one of them.
I think that's beautiful that you didn't look.
I wanted to so bad. It was because of him. He's such a nice dude. He's such a sweet guy. He said it with such sincerity. It wasn't like, "Bro, don't do this." He was just like, "You don't want to do this. You want to see this in a movie theater." And he said it as a film fan. And at that point, I was like, I hear you, I hear you. I heard it as a film fan.
So, I mean, this is going to be big, like really big. And I think that from the way Kevin Smith describes it, it's definitely going to be one of the defining moments of the movie. I've put together a list of some of the places that I think it could be, because if we listen to it closely, we can very much tell that it's not the actual scene, the dialogue, or the characters present that are going to melt your mind, it's the set and location. So the first place on my list is Yavin 4, and I really like Yavin. I think it's a great set, and it would be awesome to go back there. And it's also the location where Luke blew up the first Death Star, so we could be going there for that. But can you class it as mind melting? I don't really think so. The next location on my list is Endor, and again, I love Endor, and it is the original location at the end of Star Wars, and I think that we could certainly go back there for the second Death Star, but I still don't think that it would melt my face off. So the third location is Mustafar, and I think that this does have face melting qualities, but I don't really see any need to go there, except maybe to try some of Vader's methods in his attempt to bring back Padme, to maybe resurrect Anakin or Luke, but I don't think that this would be at the end of the movie, it would probably be around the start or middle. So what if we went back to Coruscant? In my mind, I can see the part derelict Jedi High Council chambers, with Ben and Rey standing in the middle of the circle of the greatest Jedi. Yoda, Anakin, Obi-Wan, Luke, and Mace, as they begin the new Jedi Order. I mean, that would just be so cool to see, and I would absolutely love it, and it would definitely melt your mind. Finally, my personal favourite, Tatooine. What if the last shot of the Skywalker saga is Ben, Rey, Anakin and Luke looking out towards the twin suns, and Anakin places his hand on Luke's shoulder? Imagine, it would just be so emotional and heartbreaking. I would just be in tears. So, what do you guys think about this? What theories do you like/dislike? I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to tune in next week for some more awesome episode 9